The doctor is in. Aging is a part of life, and the aging process varies from one person to the next. But regardless of how we age, maintaining our overall well-being should always be one of our priorities. I'm Dr. Freddie Gomez, and in this episode of Med Talk Health Talk, let's crack the code on how to age gracefully and healthy. The World Health Organization defines healthy aging as the process of developing and maintaining the functional ability that enables well-being in older age. Here in the Philippines, 8.5% of the population is comprised of older citizens. However, the Commission on Population says that it could reach almost double that amount by year 2030. This rise in the aging population is currently being experienced in countries such as Japan, Italy, and Finland. And while geriatric care is still developing in the country, what are viable alternatives to healthy aging? And to give us a better understanding on how exactly is it to age healthy, we have on the program Dr. Cherie Bondok. She's a licensed functional endocrinologist, an obstetrician, and a hormone replacement specialist. Welcome to the show, Doctor.
Thank you, Freddie, and thank you for inviting me into your show.
Yes. Now, when we hear the word aging healthy or healthy aging, what exactly does this entail or mean?
A healthy aging is not just the absence of disease, but it's prolonged health span. What does that mean? That's a number of years that one is able to live productively and independently.
Who are those who should be concerned about aging healthy?
Aging usually is at its peak by the time people reach the age of 50.
Okay.
So younger now, and probably that's due to the environmental.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Are there certain factors that contribute to this mas maaga nag-age or and stuff that you mentioned?
This will be the external factors like your environmental stresses, like pollution, for example.
Right.
And then the things that you eat as well, which are, of course, the things that are not good for you. And the other part is internal, which is the decline of hormones, actually.
Okay. Now, in aging, how important is, aside from aging healthy, the functionality of the person while they age?
More than just being able to actually live daily,
right,
or even do simple stuff. Healthy aging is more on being able to be productive and useful, especially for the society.
Okay.
And also one is being able to maintain quality relationships.
Okay, now since you mentioned relationships, a part of healthy aging is, one of them is the physical, and how important is the mental aspect, Doctor?
It's very important because you can just live daily, do things, like all things are physical for most, that's enough. They live, they do things, but what's more important than that is the quality of life that you're living.
Right.
So, like I said, knowing that you are important and you're doing something important.
So are there some things or regimens that people who are at a certain age, like 50 and above, they should keep note of, they should actively be conscious about?
Yeah, one of those would be physical activities like simple exercise or being in a group. Like if you don't work anymore, you should still be in a social group or a club, because that gives, of course, importance to what you do every day. You don't just do the mundane things.
Right.
The important stuff.
How important is a family structure naman, Doctora, in someone who is aging healthy?
Part of quality of life is actually having good and quality relationships, not just actually with your family, but with the society as well.
Now, when it comes to nutrition naman, Doctora, what are some key aspects that those at a certain age, 50 and above, should keep track of?
It's still very important that you eat right. You can never out-supplement a good diet. That's what they always say. Everything in moderation.
Right. So there's nothing really drastic, because a lot of people think that, at a certain age, they have to change their way of living as opposed when they were 20, 30 years younger. But nowadays, this isn't the case that much anymore.
No. So what's comfortable for you, what is sustainable, that's what I mean. And you should be enjoying it.
Okay.
You cannot be in a diet and then you're miserable every day.
We'll talk more about some of the things that people can do, especially one aspect that a lot of studies are doing is in hormone replacement therapy. But before we do that, we have to pause for a break. And when we return, we'll have on the program actor, basketball legend, and former Senator Freddie Webb. And he'll share with us his secrets to healthy aging. Keep it here on Med Talk Health Talk, only on CNN Philippines. How do we age gracefully? Or is it even possible to age it that way? Let's continue this interesting topic with Dr. Shri Bondok. She's a functional endocrinologist and obstetrician and a hormone doctor. And joining us also is basketball legend, actor, and former Senator Mr. Freddie Webb. Welcome to the program, Senator.
Thank you very much. Pleasure.
Now, you're a basketball icon, an actor, a public servant, and a lot more. How conscious are you when it comes to your health and overall well-being?
You have to do a lot of exercises. You have to do sacrifices. That at times, when I go to the gym, I ask myself, what am I doing here? I should be out with my friends, having a good time.
Right.
But then again, you have to like what you're doing, and I loved it. I love going to the gym. It's my second home, and the important thing is, are you willing to sacrifice? You have to sacrifice. You just, in that flick of a finger, you have it. You want to produce that in a day's time. It takes years, and you have to be, again, enjoying what you're doing.
Senator Webb mentioned, he has the proper mindset when it comes to being conscious about his physical well-being and stuff like that. Is this a key important feature in someone when they want to strive for a healthy life, even in their senior years?
Yeah, I think intrinsic motivation is very important. And of course, consistency. Just have to do it every day, and most especially, you really have to enjoy what you're doing.
Now, do you think your regimen when you were still a basketball player in your younger years do you think that is one of the key factors that has made you still strict in that type of regimen at this age?
I would say so. Ako pa yung naglalaro, ay nakita ko yung mga nagretiro ay lumobo. And it scared me, Sabi ko, I don't want to get that big. I mean, to say, I try my best to do everything, but I don't want to be that big. So it was my motivation, the getting scared of being in that particular class.
Right. Now, Senator Webb makes a good point that certain people who are in their younger years, especially athletes, especially those who are used to burning a lot of calories, having a high metabolism, when they sort of get off the bandwagon, they lose sight and they lose control of their weight. Is this a normal occurrence?
Yes. So part, of course, of aging is slower metabolism. And the more that you don't do any physical activity, the slower it gets.
So all the more you have to be conscious about your weight as you grow older. Now, let me ask you, Senator, are there anything that make you concerned? Kumbaga, pag nag-exercise kayo, mas ingat ba kayo? Do you feel that there are some limitations to maximizing your physical well-being?
I think it's the reverse, The more you grow old, and you're very conscious about health. The younger generation, they hardly care about it. But my age, senior citizen, ako kasi super duper senior na ako di ba?
Hindi pa naman masyado.
That's the truth, because when I got my 60th birthday and have the citizen card, sabi ko sa sarili ko, wow, 60 na ako, di ba?
Right.
And I always make deals with the Lord, Sabihin ko sa Panginoon, give me more time in this world because I still want to be with my family.
Okay. Now, Doctor, when you say healthy aging, what aspects of a person's life do you consider or do you look at?
It should not be just being able to live every day and just do mundane activities every day. But it's also being able to be productive or be functional.
For someone like Senator Webb, who seems to have his lifelong experience with, he's had a good relationship with being healthy, and it's part of his lifestyle already. Do you think, is there still progress for those who have never been healthy all their lives and they feel like, I'm too old to start healthy, ganitong edad na ako, wala na akong pag-asa, so I could just continue to live not healthy? Is this the case?
There's no such thing as too late to start anything, especially if it's for the health or for your health. So, you know, at whatever age you start, if you start living healthy or practicing the healthy means of living, any time is a good time.
Right. Because that's sometimes, Senator, they might see you, hear your story, and they might think, wala na akong pag-asa, may edad na ako, hindi ko na mahabol si Mr. Freddie Webb nito. Do you think, do you have any advice for those who might think that way?
I always talk about always on the move. Don't get seated on a couch and then watch television the whole day, the whole afternoon. It's not really healthy. It's not really good. Just get out of that chair, start moving. Because I still believe, Doctora, one of the most important exercises that one can do is walking.
Right.
Because walking deals with almost every part of your body. The feet, your legs, your waistline, the bulge in your body, but most of all, it trains you to do better than what you did yesterday.
Very well said. But with that, we'll talk more about some of the fitness regimens you have, Senator Webb, but we have to pause for a quick break. Have you ever wondered that there could be an actual fountain of youth? Hormone replacement therapy may be just that. Find out what this is when MedTalk Health Talk returns. And welcome back. All of the activities and routines that we've mentioned a while ago can be tedious to some older people. But that should not be the case. Still with us is Dr. Cherie Bondok and Senator Freddie Webb. Now, before we continue this conversation, let's tackle first a few myths that people have with regards to aging. The first one is exercise isn't safe for someone my age. I don't want to fall or break a hip. Do you think that at a certain age that a person shouldn't do physical or strenuous things such as exercising anymore?
Of course. All our bones become brittle as we grow old. That's why you have to be very careful. That's why there is such a thing as limbering, stretching, and all of that stuff, which you have to go through.
To prevent
any injury.
Now, we have another myth, and it's, I never really exercised before, and it's too late to make a difference in my health. What do you think, Doctor?
Like I
Watch
said,
out, Doktora. Kung sasabihin niyo mga 70 years old, hindi na pwede mag-exercise.
no, like I said, anytime is a good time. So there's no such thing as I'm starting late or I'm starting too early. Anything that you do for health is always a good time to start with. So the earlier, of course, the better. But if you have not started yet, it's time to start now.
Okay. Senator Webb, did you ever think of stopping? Did you ever think, I'm tired of walking, I'm tired of jogging, I just want to enjoy the couch and watch TV?
Honestly, no. No, I love it. If I wouldn't do it, if I don't exercise, if I don't go to the gym, that I will start to deteriorate. It's going to be bye-bye time to whatever hard work you have been doing for the past so many years.
Right.
You just cannot let it go without running after it. So I figured, napakahalaga nun,
Right.
Pero of course, kung mas matanda ka, o nagkakaedad ka na, we can't even play with the figure because pag sinabi mong, when I reach 60, ganito, ganyan, hindi, All of us have different bodies, we have different minds, and we want your own homework.
But going at another topic, Senator, a lot of the talk about anti-aging and aging healthy sometimes focuses on the aesthetic side. So people think anti-aging is mostly taking away the wrinkles and trying to look years younger. But some of the latest studies now are focusing on that the real fountain of youth, quote unquote, may be found in hormone replacement. Is this the newest trend or the future to anti-aging, doctor?
Hormones actually, more than for reproduction, they are actually the drivers of cellular repair. So, of course, when you have cellular repair, your organs are able to function optimally.
How is this replaced, or how does your clinic address this?
Okay. We start always with accurate testing of these levels. And then hormone therapy is actually customized. So we base your dosage based on your levels, as well as the age, as well as the metabolic needs of the patient. And most of these are given in a liposomal cream.
Okay.
Okay, with the purpose that it is absorbed directly into the bloodstream and therefore can target the target organs right away without passing through the gastrointestinal tract.
Okay, and then what kind of effects can someone see? What are the end results of this?
Okay. Aside from, of course, the management of symptoms, there is more vigor, okay, as they say. Patient becomes more energetic. There's also an improvement actually in cognition as well as memory.
Okay.
And,
Wow, I certainly need that, baby.
and for males, it's actually the maintenance of weight as well as the muscles.
Okay. Now, is this type of therapy for everyone? I mean, for someone like Senator Webb, who's still physically active, very sharp, does he still need to concern himself with this type of therapy?
Well, of course, it's not for everybody. However, like I said, if there are some who are symptomatic or have andropause symptoms, for example, then it can be beneficial for them. We do have also some patients who are actually healthy and not symptomatic, but they prefer to still have it as a preventive measure, of course, to prevent the consequences of aging.
Can I
Okay.
ask something?
Yes, of course.
What are the ages of your patients?
I have as young as a 42, and the oldest one is 85.
So when it comes to hormone replacement, at what age does it start that the hormones of a person start to diminish from normal?
Usually it starts during the menopause or andropause stage, and that
Okay.
is around 45 to 50.
Okay.
But lately we've been having patients as young as 35 now having declining or low levels of hormones.
So it's starting to get
Yeah.
at an earlier age.
Like I
Okay.
said, for us to be able to diagnose that, we have to do accurate measurement. So we do measuring.
Okay. Now, Senator Webb, what do you think is your, quote unquote, your own personal fountain of youth?
You know what, Doc Freddie and Doctora, my eyes, I was the first to have an implant. And some people will say, delikado yan, di ba? Ako, nung sinabi sa akin, let's do it, no? So, it's a risk, you know, it's a risk that you take. But sometimes it'll work, sometimes it won't.
But I guess it's a calculated risk on your part. There's a lot of weighing the pros and cons in doing that. Do you have a message for our viewers out there? Something that will hopefully inspire them to be just as fit and healthy as you are at your age?
I have to say this, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't stay out late. Even if I go taping, my cutoff time is 10.
Okay.
I'm gonna, because our worst opponent for strength, for appearance, is the 8-hour rule, which is 8 hours of sleep.
Now, doctor, do you have a message for our viewers out there?
Aging is not anymore a life sentence. You can do something about it. You can age gracefully and you can be productive as much as you want.
And with that, I'd like to thank you, Dr. Shri Bondok, for joining us in the show,
Thank you
sharing
so
us
much.
your expertise. And of course, we'd like to thank you for making the time, Senator Freddie Webb. And with that, remember, aging is not just about counting down the years. It's about getting closer to yourself and enjoying the fullness of life. We'll see you again next time as we give you topics that take control of your health. I'm Dr. Freddie Gomez. Thank you for watching.